everybody, this is me, Gxfrosty, your favorite YouTuber here. Just gonna make a little quick video on AOPG, a video I never make a game that I never made a video of, and I probably never will in the future, but I decided to do this for enjoyment for those who want to talk about this, because I've been seeing a lot of controversy lately about this weapon specifically. Actually, there's two weapons. Oh, there's no No, we're gonna talk about that AoE. Wait a second, that's just this is actually about this weapon here. So there's been a lot of talks lately for swordsmen, among swordsmen, you know. Is this sword any good compared to other swords? Like, is this the new strongest sword in the game? And I'm gonna get to that. See you guys right in the video. So let's get right into talking about this. So let me just start with saying that everybody thinks that this specific mode is going to carry it, which, by the way, the mode transformation looks great. Love the little aura. Everything about it looks sick. So everybody's just talked about, is this the new strongest sword? Is it actually worth? I mean, look at the damage so far that I'm doing with just basic M1s, and I'm not even a swordsman. Like, look, 3 million damage, just this mode alone. No upgrades on the blacksmith. Literally none. So it has no upgrades. This is just base M1s with my current stats, which I believe none of this gives any sword stat. Yeah, so I only get 800 extra sword stat on top of my max stat. So this is dealing around 3 million, which doesn't sound like that much considering with my fruit stats is dealing 9 million. That's not the whole thing everybody's talking about. It's this sword in specific that's having everybody talk a lot, which might not be loading very well. I don't know why, but I feel like AOPG lately has been loading rather slow for some reason. Probably it's because they're cooking up a really good update. So, and that's this whole weapon, where it's actually stronger than that thing if it actually, you know, could mode up without having to use red hair. The world's strongest swordsman. And this thing actually is buffed, by the way. Granted, that thing dealt 3 million with just the mode. So if you put it that way, this thing has pretty much a 1.5 times base damage, while the other one gives it a 2.1 times, and currently is dealing less. But apparently these moves deal a ridiculous amount compared to everything else. Like, I'm talking about extremely high amount. This whole little controversy, which is the best sword in the game? Is it Emperor Gryphon? Is it the Pirate King sword? Or hell, is it even Flame Pipe? Let's clarify a few things real quick, shall we? So first things first, the Pirate King sword, damage wise, if you're going to be a complete swordsman, no, it is not stronger than Emperor Gryphon. Hear me out, okay? So Emperor Gryphon, before this update, a ridiculously high amount with the world's strongest swordsman. This is not counting red hair. Red hair doesn't actually do that much damage extra because, well, red hair buff honestly kind of sucks in comparison, so you really wouldn't use that. So you'd use the world's strongest swordsman with Emperor Gryphon, and it would deal a lot of damage, total amount, with all the moves. You'd actually deal more than just using King of the Pirates with the Pirate King sword, and that actually includes all the combinations from doing Limitless, Sukuna. You really want to do Helsing's just for the HP, and then of course Armament Hockey. Even with all that, I deal around what, 39 million each hit, which actually isn't that bad considering my Pirate King sword is not even upgraded. I mean, with the small bit of gems I have, let's try and upgrade it. So it upgraded a small bit, not too much. Let's see. I'm already dealing 53 million with just a small bit of upgrades I gave it. It does not deal more than Emperor Gryphon, which is honestly weird considering Emperor Gryphon can't even use his mode. Can you imagine if he could use his mode without having to use red hair? Honestly, it'd be one hell of a scary weapon, which they really should. I feel like that's the one bad thing lowering Gryphon down as a weapon, is that you can't use the mode. And literally, you'd use the Pirate King sword if you're gonna go with a goddamn support style build. I don't know why you'd main Gojo, but if you do, you do. You can main Sukuna. Sukuna right now is honestly devastating in the amount of damage it's been dealing lately. Just look at that. I'm dealing 102 million, and I'm using a fruit build. And then there's Helsing, if you want to main Helsing. Again, I really don't know why people will main Helsing. I mean, it's a really cool gun, don't get me wrong. I really love the moves. Yeah, no, you'd use Pirate King sword in almost every scenario, but in a practical, typical sense, would Pirate King sword be better? I mean, yes, in every other scenario, Pirate King sword would be better than the Emperor Gryphon. Since Emperor Gryphon, again, buffs can't even be used, and I believe the buffs only buffs the sword, making it pretty useless even if you could use the buff elsewhere. Is the Pirate King sword the highest damaging sword? No, it is the second highest. Emperor Gryphon is the highest if both of them are using the world's strongest swordsman. But yes, if you're actually thinking of becoming a swordsman, I honestly would say you can use one or the other. Emperor Gryphon and Pirate King sword are both extremely OP. Personally, I'd say if I'm becoming a swordsman, I'd use Pirate King sword just because this move is god tier for grinding in areas, because the AoE is just absolutely massive. I believe it takes almost the entirety of the Revolutionary Island. It's actually probably similar to Gear 5's Bedrang Gum. I don't know how you pronounce that. For those who don't have access to the Pirate King sword or Emperor Gryphon, just a quick thing before I end the video. Alternatives that you could use is Odin Blades V2 and Flame Pipe. Those two are directly under a Pirate King sword in terms of buffs, and in damage they're actually pretty high up there still. Then below that one, buff wise, would be Zangetsu and Duoyoru. Zangetsu though deals some pretty low damage. It was kind of disappointing seeing it deal low damage because the moves themselves are pretty nice. Mugetsu, I expected it to deal an enormous amount of damage. Pirate King sword versus Gryphon dilemma. Which one's better? Emperor Gryphon deals more for swordsman. Pirate King sword is right behind it. But in more practical grinding sense, Pirate King sword is just low-key better. Has way better moves. It deals a massive amount of damage nonetheless. But love both swords either way. Hope you enjoyed watching this little small YouTube video about AOPG. I might cover some more AOPG stuff. I think I'm actually going to be covering something about fruits later. Might be covering some other builds and whatnot because I'm not actually completely endgame. I don't know if you see my current items, but it's not really the endgame required for fruits. And do be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Bye bye.